In this video I'm going to go over some examples of submitting a non-typical grass cut in the Pruvan application using an Android smartphone device. First of all, you'll log in, select your grass cut order. Once you've opened it up, you will check the notes section here, and then you'll click on grass recut and start answering your questions and taking your photos. Again, with these questions, you always want to consult your grass cut guidelines so that you know exactly when you're allowed to answer these yes or no, and you'll also know exactly what photos are required and just some other general guidance. So if it asks you, can the grass cut be completed, and you select no, the next menu you're going to treat like any other question. You're going to read what photos it's asking for and what information it's asking for. You're going to make sure that you take the minimum required photos right here. You're going to make sure that this area is not blank and it's usually filled in with the word required, and then you're going to click the camera button at the bottom and take your required number of photos before you click next. In this actual instance, instead of clicking the word required, it's actually going to let you select the reason why you're unable to complete the grass cut. But even after you complete that, you still want to make sure you click your camera button at the bottom and take your required number of photos before clicking the next button. So you take your number of photos, hit the back, and go to the next question. Another instance might be if the grass height is over 12 inches. If you select yes and click next, it's going to tell you what photos are needed, the minimum number of photos. You're going to need to click this blank area here and select the word required or something else if required is not there, and then you're going to need to click the camera button at the bottom and take your photos before you click next. If the shrubs need to be trimmed, you click yes, click next, and it's going to ask you what photos it wants. It's going to tell you you need at least 10 photos in this example. You're going to click this blank area again to make sure that it's filled in with the word required or some other word, and then you're going to click the camera button at the bottom and take your, in this instance, 10 photos before you continue on to the next question. If the backyard cannot be serviced, you'll click no, click next, and again it's going to tell you that it wants a written reason why you cannot service the yard, so just briefly click this blank area and type in a reason why you cannot access the yard, and make sure also that you have your minimum number of required photos. In this case it wants at least one photo, so make sure that you scroll down to the bottom, click the camera button, and take the required number of photos before you move on to the next question. If you have a bid, you can click yes, click next, and it will actually ask you what type of bid and give you a drop down menu to select one. You'll click next after you've done that, and it will ask you for some brief written information about the bid, but again it's requiring you to take a minimum number of photos, so make sure that you read that number, click the photo number at the bottom, and take those required photos before you go to the next question. Here it's asking for the cost of the bid as well, that you can click this blank area, type the number, and then click the next button. Here's an example of that same screen that you see right before you submit an order. It looks a little bit different if you choose different answers to the questions, but you still follow the rest of the procedure the same. You click your two different buttons. You click Submit Survey at the top. You come down here, check the number of photos in the order, and make sure that that seems reasonable for the answers that you provided. In this case, we did less than a full grass cut, so we would expect typically to have less than the approximately 30 photos for a grass cut order, so 12 seems reasonable in this example. And then we're actually going to click the green button at the top to complete the order fully and send the photos to us.